everyone. I'm glad that you're here with us this morning. We are going to talk about our pre-K survival guide, streamlining early learning with confidence. And so what we're going to do first is just kind of introduce who's on the Zoom, and I can go first. My name is Sarah Rail, and I am a trainer and consultant with Step Up. And Sue Herrera is going to introduce herself. She was actually the project lead of our new product, the MELT, the Missouri Early Learning Tools. And then now she did like the hard part, and now I get to kind of take the lead over. And so I'm really excited about that and excited for this presentation and tell you more about it today. So Sue, if you want to introduce yourself, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm Sue Herrera. As Sarah said, I'm the Director of Instructional Development and a consultant, and I get to do lots of things. And one of the things that we just finished that we're very proud of is this MELT book and the early learning proficiency scales. And Sarah's going to do a fantastic job sharing with you what it's all about.
And I'm Valerie Montgomery. I am also here with Step Up, and I'm just going to be here today to support and help answer any questions that come through.
Thank you, Val. Julie, would you like to introduce yourself?
She has no mic or camera in
Okay.
school district right now, so she's going to communicate through the chat if she has questions, is my understanding.
Okay, that sounds great. So Julie, just feel free to put questions in the chat and we will get those answered for you. And hopefully we have several that's going to be listening to the recording. So we'll go ahead and get started. So we always like to start with the why behind the work that we do at Step Up. And so as you can see, we have systems clarity and collaboration are three big words that we kind of explain our company. We at Step Up want to help Missouri educators and support Missouri schools by helping with the barriers that educators face. And so we are excited about this product because a lot of our products we have helped obviously our elementary and high school educators and some electives we've done as well, but we really wanted to dive into helping early childhood educators to really help those early learners. And so that is our why. And so we'll go ahead and get started talking about the 7 domains of early childhood. And with creating this product, we hired content writers across the state that were experts in early childhood, and they got to kind of choose the domain that they were experts in. And I helped with one of the domains. And like Sue said, she kind of oversee the whole project and helped write as well. And so the 7 domains, if you're not familiar with, so we have language and literacy, science, math, expressive arts, social emotional development, which is so important with our earliest learners, and physical development, and then of course the approaches to learning. So as you can see, when we dove into creating this product, I mean, seeing that early childhood educators have over 100 standards that they are responsible in covering. So it's a lot. And so we feel like breaking them down and looking at these 7 domains is a great tool. So we first ask ourselves, what makes early learning programs effective? And so we asked early childhood educators across the state, admin, and also our content writers, what do we feel like really makes early childhood programs effective? And so these are the things that we came up with, and I'm sure you guys probably could share some things as well, but we really feel like that well-qualified educator with specialized training in early childhood development is so important. And a role that I can kind of bring into this that's kind of unique is I stepped away from education. I taught in the elementary classroom for 22 years. I stepped away for a while and I was co-owner and director of a daycare preschool center. We were licensed from birth all the way to school age. And so having this product would have been very beneficial for my teachers. So we always strive to try to get our kids ready for kindergarten. And so I feel like this product is really going to be beneficial not only for public school settings, but also those daycare settings as well. The next thing is having developmentally appropriate curriculum that balances that play and structured learning. So through the tools I'm going to be showing you, we really reiterate that play-based learning. So we feel like that's so important. And then that adequate learning time. So a lot of times we talk about Robert Marzano and creating a curriculum that is viable, guaranteed and viable. So that viability part is making sure we have that adequate learning time, especially with all those domains and things that preschool educators have to cover. The next thing is very important as well, is that family engagement. So we're going to talk about how we included family activities within our product for that family connection that's so important with our earliest learners. And then obviously targeting support for our diverse learners. So providing scaffolding, extra resources, links, videos, anchor charts, things that can really help get those kids to the next level to be successful. Sue, is there anything else you want to add to that, or good to go? Okay. So with Step Up, we always want to let you know that we are research-based, and so we love John Hattie. And the reason we like John Hattie is really that clarity piece. We really hone in on that part and how important that is with teacher clarity. And that was the whole why and the reason behind the MELT book, which stands for Missouri Early Learning Tools, is to really just bring that clarity, like I said, whether it's to a public preschool setting or whether it's in a daycare setting. So we really feel like it does bring that clarity, and you'll kind of see that, and we'll wrap up with that piece at the end. So we have created what is called a PreK survival guide. And so it has 4 components, and we're going to walk through what those 4 components look like. When we get to the MELTs, which is the main thing that you're probably interested in, that's our proficiency scales. You can also just get that, and that it can come in hard copy or digital. So we're going to walk through what each of these pieces are. So we have the curriculum management tool, the vertical progressions, the MELTs, hard copy and digital, and then the MIL membership. So talking about the building of our book and our proficiency scales, one thing that we felt like is so important is connecting, showing how it really connects to our elementary core content areas. So we have this chart that kind of depicts how that continuum really progresses into that K1, 2. So you can see the 7 domains on the left-hand side, and then the core content on the top, and shows you where each one is addressed. Besides this chart, we have vertical alignments in our MELT book. And so it's going to really take a look at how it progresses through K1, 2. So for example, this one really talks about discriminating sounds, repeating rhymes, which is so important, as we know, in kindergarten and first grade for phonemic awareness. It will show you priority standards are bolded there in kindergarten. So it's going to cover the next grade at 3 priority, and then the supporting standards are not bolded. But this gives you a really true picture of how, it's going to progress. And so it helped also when you see our scales, we're going to talk about the 4.0, and you will see what is expected in kindergarten. So that's that vertical alignment. This is going to show you what our proficiency scales look like. And so here's that 4.0 that I just talked about. So our MELTs are actually proficiency scales, if you're not familiar with what those look like. So a 4.0 would be your kindergarten level. Your 3.5 is something new that we did with preschool, because we developed 3.5 for the transitional kindergarten. Sometimes we have kids that's not quite ready for kindergarten. And so we have this extra scale that can be used for those kiddos. And then we have 3.0. So that's the target for preschool. Then our 2.0 would be for our toddlers and our 3-year-olds. And then we actually have 1.0, which is new to our scales. And that's our parent connection that we talked about earlier. It's so important. So I'll kind of walk through what all that looks like at each scale. And so on the left-hand side, you can see that we've unwrapped the Missouri Standard. We unwrap it by the verbs. And
Sarah,
really,
are you advancing your slides, or are you still on scale 4?
yes, I'm still on scale 4.
Okay,
Sorry, I
just
just
making
kind of
sure.
gave an overview, but yes, thank you. So the 4.0, like I said, on the left-hand side is really unwrapping the standard. And then the right-hand side, that is where that observable example comes in. So how can we observe that the child is able to do the standard? And so here's the 4.0. And then we talked about the 3.5. It was that transitional kindergarten piece. And then here's the 3.0. So again, we have these in all 7 learning domains. We've included that play-based learning strategy, and it really brings that clarity that we talked about. And so the right-hand side, again, you can see this one is a fun one using creativity, imagination for dramatic play, and then examples. So an interactive puppet show could be a way that a teacher could observe that. And then here is the 2.0 and 1.0. So here's the scaffolding. So we want all the way from the level 1.0, which is the home to school connection. What can they do at home? And we had a parents as teachers writer help with these activities. So that was really great to have her feedback for those, because we feel like that's so important to start building those family relationships at such a young age. So that 1.0 really gives those home activities to supplement that. And then that level 2.0, again, that was for toddlers and your 3-year-olds to reach proficiency for your preschoolers. So next we're going to talk about what the melts is actually. You can get it in hard copy, and we're super excited because before we've had this call in April launching it, but we didn't actually have the product. It was on pre-order, but now you can actually order it on our website. And I have one right here. I'm so excited about it. It looks beautiful. It's got the tabs for the 7 domains. And so I think it's going to be a great asset to any preschool program. So it is in hard copy and digital. So digital means that you can just buy it digitally and click on the links to get to those proficiency skills that I just showed you. Another thing, if you get the pre-K survival guide, you can get the curriculum management tool with that. And so some of you may be familiar with the curriculum management tool because you may have it already in your school district. So I'm going to click on this so you can kind of see what that looks like. So the first tab is going to have all the 7 domains, and they are color coded, which makes it really nice that you can see the different domains. So approaches to learning, social, emotional, language literacy, and so on. And so you'll see these check marks because in the next tab over, we have started building a sample scope and sequence, and we've started pacing what that would look like. And so your teachers, if they don't have any pacing guides, or maybe they have one, but they would like to incorporate this is really nice because now they can click on the standards where they pace it, and it will go to the digital proficiency scale that we just went over. The sample we kind of liked because obviously preschool teachers a lot like to do themes. And so you put your units and themes up at the top. That pacing is that viability piece we talked about. Could be in quarters if you're in a school setting. How many weeks approximately are you going to take? And then this important links and resources is very important. If you have several preschool educators in your district, then they can click on these links and provide all the resources, especially for new teachers. That makes it very really great for a new teacher. And then, so you can see when the standards are pasted, it's really nice to see that it's color coded, because here, first quarter, we have lots that's in the social emotional. Um, um, as you can tell, you definitely would do a lot of social emotional at the very beginning of a school district. And so you can see that color coding when you paste those standards over. So you just go from tab to tab at the bottom, and then you can check mark those that you've pasted them in there for that viability piece. Sue, is there anything? I know I'm kind of going fast.
No, I think that's great. That's exactly the purpose of it, is to make sure that not only are we teaching all of the domains, but that it's in a plan that makes sense for early childhood programs.
And then I've been kind of tweaking and kind of seeing what it would look like. So I've made another one that you could probably see which one that you would like, but I even put like the different domains here that are color coded as well. So you could have, different options of how you wanted to set that up. But that is the curriculum management tool that comes with the PreK survival guide. So something else that was included was the Missouri Instructional Leadership Network. So that is also a valuable tool that you can have that gives you additional resources and things. But something that we are going to be launching is the possibility of having a pre-K survival guide training. And so at Step Up, obviously, if there's ever a need for us to come train, but we could work with early childhood educators on the 7 domains and really train on how to use this book. So that's a possibility. So in conclusion, again, I said we would come back around to that clarity piece. So we just feel like that teacher clarity is so important, and we feel like this new MELT product and tool will really help early childhood educators have that clarity piece that may be missing in your daycare setting or preschool setting. Does anybody have any questions? Did Julie have anything in the chat or anything?
I did not see anything in the chat. She did say she's the curriculum director and instructional coach at Bell City.
Okay, good to
And
know.
I would just say, as a principal, my why for wanting the early childhood proficiency skills developed is because of the regression that I saw with kindergarten. Even with students that went to pre-K, we really felt like we were working in a deficit mode in the district I was in. We had a really hard time getting kids to be able to even approach the kindergarten proficiency standards. And so if you backwards design from that, you go to pre-K and then to obviously the Parents as First Teacher program. And so I think that it will be an asset for sure. Julie said she's good. She says they have the other math books and was looking to add pre-K to the collection. I understand that.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's great.
right.
So upcoming events. So we have actually 2 more Milne events, Zoom meetings this week. So Thursday at 10:30, we just hosted our first curriculum instruction summit in Columbia, and we're going to have key takeaways from that. If someone wasn't able to attend, we had some great keynote speakers and some breakout sessions. So we're going to go over that. And these obviously are recorded as well. And then Sue probably can speak to the writing. So she is our guru on developing our writing training, and she's going to talk about rubrics on Friday, I believe, at 10 o'clock. So if you can join us for those, that would be great. And so unless you 2 ladies have anything else, I think we'll go ahead and end our meeting. And Julie, thank you for joining us. And just like I said, excited about our new tool and hoping that it can help early childhood educators. So thank you for attending, and have a great afternoon.